When I was in the Cub Scouts in the early 1960s, I always wanted to make the 1-tube and 2-tube radio sets that were described in the Bear and Lion handbooks. I never did build them, but I also never forgot about them. Thanks to internet, I found these scans of both projects from the Bear and Lion handbooks from a website called peeblesoriginals.com. I found only a handful of forum posts on internet that discuss this project or either project, but none of these postings said they had actually built either one or tested it. And one post, probably the best one in terms of comments about this project, was from a fellow named James T. Hawes, who noted there were some errors in the schematic diagram in the Lion 2-tube set. Mr. Hawes made 4 comments that he numbered in his posting that I don't totally agree with. In his first comment, he said the filament circuit was incomplete, and that's really not so, because pin 5 of the 1U4 is tied to ground in the schematic. But what's not shown in the schematic is the fact that pin 5 is internally connected to pin 1 inside the 1U4, as well as being connected to the suppressor grid. I do agree with him that the schematic symbol for the batteries is drawn backwards, but the polarity marks shown on the schematic looked okay to me, both the A battery and the B battery. Another thing he said was that the battery on the pictorial drawing connects the right way, but that's not true for the B battery. The B battery's polarity marks on the pictorial diagram are backwards. They're relative to the schematic and relative to the correct design. We both agree that the resistors identified as 3.3 kiloohm resistors in the drawings and the parts list should have been identified as 3.3 megohm resistors, which would be orange, orange, and green. Here's the pictorial diagram from the Lion handbook with my red line corrections noted. I redrew the schematic diagram for my own ease of reading and applied all the corrections that I've already described. In my experience, a 3V4 is a little more common than a 3Q4. I've never had a radio set that used a 3Q4, so I redrew the schematic with the substitution of a 3V4. The RCA tube manual says that the electrical characteristics of both tube types are identical, only the pinouts are different. For my breadboard of this set, I decided to use a pair of octal-based tubes that I happen to have handy, one being the 1N5 in place of the 1U4, and the other being a 3Q5 in place of the 3Q4. Electrically, their characteristics are practically identical for the purpose of this circuit, and the tube pins are easier for me to see to wire up instead of the miniature tube socket pins. So here's my breadboard of the Lion 2-tube radio set. Notice that the base is made from 2 sheets of corrugated cardboard that are glued together, and the holder for the ferrite bar antenna is also made from a piece of cardboard, and this made it very quick and easy to wire up the set. Here's my demonstration of the Lion Cub Scout 2-tube radio set that I built.
Legal for you to be doing Okay, this is KLAC 570.
Down for you, and then coming up here at 11:35, should doctors be drug tested? Do you see the theme that's shaping up there? KFI AM 640, Bill Carroll. I don't know, one of the most underrated players in the last 10 years. If you watch him play, what doesn't he do? A couple of years ago. What doesn't he do? He makes shots. He kind of like gets lost on defense. Okay. Nobody's perfect. That was it.
This is ESPN 710 Sports Radio. They carry Lakers basketball.
He's much more athletic than you probably give him credit for, and he's so 605 that has 2 lanes blocked, and also Obama Gaddon has some closures still. Wilshire between Veteran and Comstock, Beverly Glen between Ashton and Bellagio until 1, Sunset between Hillgard and Carrollwood, Pico from Prosser and Century Park East. There will be no road closures.
Yeah, Obama's in town this morning doing more fundraising.
Dependable traffic first on the 4s. Next report at 11:34. I'm Lou Stowers, Talk Radio 790K, ABC. You've been thinking about switching to solar. I'm sorry. They're just friends. Right, no, see, but it's not fair what you're doing. He is not volunteering any sinful activity, okay, and you are drilling him. Well, okay, let me ask that's what. Okay. Thank you, Dan. In Minnesota.
This is called the Answer 870.
Areas to avoid for at least the next hour here are going to be around the Beverly Hills, Holmby Hills area, right around Beverly Glen and Sunset Boulevard. That has been the epicenter where President Obama has been at a national Democratic fundraiser, I believe. Now, he's going to be headed down towards Century City, where I believe he will take Marine One from there. I'm not sure if it's going to be all the way to San Dimas or what, but you also need to avoid the area right
KNX 1070.
Pico right there in Century City.
Okay, I think this is KFOX 1650. They sound like sounds like it's Japanese. Okay, so it covers the entire broadcast band pretty good, and my battery is only putting out about 55 volts. I think it's nominal 67.5, but I've been using it in another radio set for a couple of years, and for this set I'm just using it to test the set.
For a finishing touch, I added a little speaker enclosure shown in the picture here. The sound quality is much better with this enclosure. I made it from corrugated cardboard also. So I'm very happy with the way this project turned out.